I really like the idea that you are forced to participate with my work, that you have a responsibility to it, and that you have to pay attention to it. It's essentially like taking care of me, to some degree. Water me, like feed me, like give me love. But these are redwood floor works that I started making, I think maybe 6 years ago I started working with them. And I was really thinking about kind of different ways to make marks, different ways to kind of intervene in a material. And a body of work like this, where you have kind of the wood floor being built, you have the addition of the black soap and wax, but then you start to see the marks that actually come from it being as much about the removal of the soap and wax from the surface. And in particular in the brands, this is a body of work that I've been working on for several years. I call them shelves. And I originally started making them because I had all this stuff kind of gathered written in my studio. And I was really kind of looking for a place to put it, to be completely honest. And as I started to build these shelving units to place all of that extra material, I started kind of arranging them with more of an aesthetic sensibility. And as those arrangements started to kind of grow, I started realizing that those were the things that I was actually most interested in making. So I started playing with shape, started playing with the background. In this particular piece, you have wood flooring that's then burned, then painted gold, and then burned again, branded in certain areas, spray painted, and shelves are applied, as well as black soap and wax, which is almost a kind of almost entropic material that seems to follow me throughout a lot of the bodies of work. Black soap is something that people with more sensitive skin would use. So I started thinking about this idea of sensitivity, and then it became an art material for me to molest and participate with, draw with, melt it down in these large baths. And then as you poured it onto a surface, it would begin to harden, and you'd have this opportunity to scrawl in it, change it, redirect it. And I thought of it as almost creating a new topography, like a landscape. And so that kind of led me to a body of work that I call Cosmic Slobs. I realized at a fairly early stage that I didn't function in this smaller space, like in this box where you would kind of draw or make more intricate gestures, that I naturally kind of physically wanted to make larger and more physical gestures, and that's just kind of the nature of how I approach my work and in some ways how I approach the world. I like beauty. It's taken me a long time to really honestly admit that to myself, but I like, I'm very challenged by attractive things, and I find that to be a real blessing that I am still very invested in the poetry of art, not just the concepts, not just art as a delivery system, but art as an opportunity to bring, joy both to the eyes as well as to the mind.